Hey everybody, we are live. So today what I really want to go through is just a couple of really important things that we have found to be super beneficial for our 7-figure eCom brand, right? So when we started from our kitchen bench with basically no money, no startup money, no investment from anybody apart from ourselves and our savings accounts, we didn't have an understanding of this one thing that Tim Ferriss loves to talk about, and something that we took very, very seriously, along the lines of his book, The 4-Hour Workweek, which we basically started and grew our business off of in terms of lifestyle design, finding a product or business that scratches your own itch. It was something along the lines of, you must really become and think and act like a Silicon Valley investor. All right, and when I specifically reference this, I'm talking about mostly your marketing efforts and mostly how you need to think about things methodically and strategically. All right, and so when we speak to our clients and when we do our own work with a technique such as the influencer outreach, influencer product seeding, we need to have this mentality that an expectation that you're not going to hit every single effort that you make. Now, we know this as people in business and people in marketers. There's testing, scientific methods of testing things that work and what don't. You do more of what does and less of what doesn't. But the concept of thinking like a Silicon Valley investor means that you really only have to hit 1 out of, call it 5, for it to be beneficial and profitable, and therefore you should continue to actually do it. So Tim Ferriss talks about Silicon Valley investors, venture capitalists that look at companies just starting out, and when they look to invest and buy in, that they have an expectation themselves that they only need to hit 1 in 5 businesses big, right? The others can essentially fall away and act as collateral damage. Now, they don't know which ones they're going to be, right? But by having that risk spread, that risk allowance, it allows for the one hit that absolutely smashes it out of the park. All right, so when I'm talking about this in terms of an influencer outreach strategy or campaign, we don't expect every single one to smash it out of the park, right? We need 1 in, I would call it 5, but for other industries, for other businesses, it is more or less, okay, for it to be worth it. So we don't want to have the expectation that, crossing our fingers and toes that, we've just sent some product to this influencer, we really need this one person and every single person to pay off. It just doesn't work that way. And if you think that way, you'll be disappointed by almost every marketing effort that you come across, right? But you think about it, that you need to hit 1 out of 5 big time for it to pay off, and you put yourself in a very advantageous position and mindset. All right, so when we talk about that, it's not just about getting your money back on that 5th one or that 1 in 5. It's about smashing it out of the park. Like, as I just mentioned, a Silicon Valley investor doesn't just want to get their money back on 1. They want to, 1,000, 5,000x their investment, and on top of the other investments that they've actually made. Because then it makes it really worth it, and they can go and do the same thing and keep growing and keep implementing. And so that's what I want to refer back to here with our marketing efforts is, we want to hit 1 in 5, and we want to hit it big time. If you don't hit it big time, or the ratios are really blown out and your costs or your cost of goods are way too outweighing the benefits and the ROIs, then it is potentially a strategy that you move on from. Okay, so this can be adopted across the board with marketing efforts, staffing efforts. It can be anything that you can relate to that doesn't have a guaranteed ROI, but you're playing a certain percentage to get a certain ROI with the efforts that you're actually doing. So that's why I wanted to refer it specifically to influencers. So I hope that explanation really helps, that you want to think like a Silicon Valley investor, a venture capitalist, with your marketing efforts, with your business. And having this shift in mindset and expectations will really set you up for success, because at the end of the day, if you've got something that people want and that your product is great and people do want it, you just need more exposure, more time. It's about a game of persistence. And when we were hitting even just 10 and 15K months, we weren't super profitable. It's not like we were paying ourselves or anything like that. We were working 80, 100 hours a week in the business. And we could have given up one day, we could have given up the next day, we could have given up any days, and we would have just ended like that. But we knew that we had something special, and we invested in ourselves and our business and continued to persist. And then it became a time in the game. Because we knew and believed in our product so much and our programs, that's when the fruits were able to be reaped, right? The rewards were able to be reaped, okay? Because we sowed so many seeds along the way and we spent time in the game. And, I talk about the valley of disappointment, where it's like your expectations and your effort don't match up over time, but there will become a point in time that there's this massive point of inflection. All right, so anyway, I went on a little bit of a sidetrack there, but the point of this video was to explain that concept of, thinking differently, thinking in terms of ROIs, how many you need to hit out of the park in your efforts to get the benefit that you are after, and continue to do those efforts. So as long as you're profitable, as long as you're getting and hitting it big with that 1 in 5 ratio, then you continue to do it. And you have that expectation, you get better at it, you get refined at it. And this can be, as I say, across the board, not just with our influencer outreach that we talk about and help our clients with. So look, I hope that helps. Any questions, drop one below. But other than that, we'll see you in the next one. Thanks.